Welcome to the new Sentinel, where we slow the week down and make sense of it.
Today, we are looking at the social, economic, and cultural currents shaping public life.
One important note before we begin. We are not using a live verified news feed today.
So we will not pretend to name specific breaking events without confirmation.
Instead, we will examine the kinds of developments that define a week like this.
That means household pressures, workplace shifts, cultural conversations, media behavior, and community responses.
Let's begin with the socio-economic picture, because money often sets the emotional temperature.
For many families, the week is measured through grocery bills, rent, fuel, and school costs.
Even when national numbers sound stable, local households can experience a very different reality.
A small price increase can become a major decision when budgets are already stretched.
That is the first major socio-economic theme. Affordability remains a lived daily event.
Not just an economic statistic, but a social experience inside kitchens, buses, and workplaces.
People adapt quickly. They compare stores, delay purchases, share resources, and renegotiate routines.
Those choices may seem private, but together they describe a broader economic mood.
The second theme is work, especially the changing expectations between employers and employees.
Across many communities, workers continue asking for flexibility, security, fair pay, and respect.
Employers, meanwhile, are balancing costs, productivity demands, hiring challenges, and customer expectations.
That creates a complicated workplace culture, where the office is also a social battleground.
Remote work, hybrid schedules, side hustles, and gig jobs have changed how people plan life.
A job is no longer only income. It is identity, time, dignity, and belonging.
This week's economic conversations likely include those everyday negotiations, even when they stay informal.
They happen in staff meetings, family chats, group texts, and quiet personal calculations.
Another major issue is youth opportunity, especially for students and young workers entering adulthood.
Young people are often told to be ambitious, adaptable, and financially responsible all at once.
But they may face high housing costs, uncertain wages, and pressure to build credentials.
That makes the transition into independence feel longer, harder, and more fragile.
Socioeconomically, that matters because delayed stability affects marriage, parenting, business formation, and migration.
Culturally, it matters because young people begin questioning old promises about success.
Housing is another central event, even when there's no single dramatic headline.
Every rent renewal, mortgage decision, eviction concern, or neighborhood change carries social meaning.
Housing is where economics touches safety, education, health, family structure, and community trust.
When housing feels insecure, people often feel politically and emotionally unsettled.
That insecurity can reshape neighborhoods through displacement, crowding, commuting burdens, or delayed life decisions.
It can also create grassroots action, from tenant organizing to mutual aid networks.
Now let's shift to the socio-cultural side, where values, symbols, and identity collide.
Culture this week is likely unfolding through entertainment, sports, religion, fashion, language, and online debate.
Pop culture continues to act like a public square, especially for younger audiences.
A song, film, celebrity interview, or viral clip can become a moral argument.
People do not only consume entertainment, they use it to signal belonging and values.
That is why cultural debates can become intense, fast, and deeply personal.
Social media amplifies that process by rewarding speed, emotion, humor, and conflict.
A local moment can become global before context has time to catch up.
That creates a major cultural pattern. People react before they fully understand.
Then communities spend the rest of the week interpreting, correcting, defending, or condemning.
Another sociocultural issue is trust, especially trust in institutions, experts, media, and leadership.
When trust is strong, societies can absorb disagreement without falling apart.
When trust is weak, even ordinary announcements can feel suspicious or divisive.
This week, like many weeks, trust likely shapes how people receive public information.
Economic data, health advice, security updates, and cultural statements all pass through that filter.
People ask not only what happened, but who benefits from the explanation.
That question can be healthy when it encourages accountability and careful thinking.
But it can be dangerous when it becomes reflexive cynicism toward every shared fact.
Community life is another place where socio-economic and cultural forces meet directly.
Local events, school meetings, faith gatherings, markets, and festivals reveal how people are coping.
They show whether communities feel connected, exhausted, divided, hopeful, or ignored.
Sometimes the biggest social story is not conflict, it is endurance.
Neighbors helping neighbors can be as significant as a major policy speech.
A food drive, small business opening, or youth program can shift local morale.
Those stories often receive less attention, but they explain how society actually survives.
They also show how culture is made through repetition, service, memory, and shared space.
Let's talk about migration and movement, because people moving always changes economics and culture.
Movement may involve workers seeking opportunity, families seeking safety, or students seeking education.
When people move, they bring labor, language, food, music, faith, and new expectations.
That can enrich communities, but it can also test housing, schools, and public services.
The social challenge is managing change without reducing people to political symbols.
The economic challenge is building systems that recognize real needs and real contributions.
Another weekly pattern is the pressure on small businesses and entrepreneurs.
Small businesses often feel economic changes before larger institutions publicly acknowledge them.
They notice foot traffic, supplier costs, customer hesitation, and advertising challenges immediately.
They are also cultural anchors, especially in neighborhoods where identity is tied to local commerce.
A barbershop, restaurant, repair store, or clothing boutique can become a community newsroom.
People gather there, exchange information, argue, laugh, and build informal networks.
That brings us to media, because how stories are told affects what societies prioritize.
A serious issue can be ignored if it lacks spectacle or celebrity involvement.
A minor controversy can dominate attention if it has the right emotional packaging.
That creates a responsibility for both creators and audiences to slow down.
Good media should inform, challenge, entertain, and help people understand complexity.
And that is the perfect moment for a word about the new Sentinel.
The New Sentinel is a podcast dedicated to in-depth discussions and deep dives.
We cover a wide array of topics, from pop culture to global security.
From the glitz and glamour of entertainment to the strategy behind military operations.
Each episode is thoughtfully crafted to give listeners a fuller understanding of the subject.
You will hear detailed analysis, engaging storytelling, and conversations built for curious minds.
Whether you love pop culture or follow global security, the new Sentinel has something for you.
Tune in, view, subscribe, and comment to stay informed and entertained.
And if you are an entrepreneur, the new Sentinel can help advertise your product or service.
Reach audiences who value insight, discussion, and stories that go deeper than headlines.
The new Sentinel, informed, engaging, and built for people who want more context.
Now back to the week's wider social picture.
One cultural development worth watching is the relationship between identity and public speech.
People increasingly expect institutions to speak about values, justice, safety, and representation.
But institutions often struggle to speak clearly without sounding performative or cautious.
That tension shapes workplaces, universities, entertainment companies, sports organizations, and public agencies.
Silence can be criticized, statements can be criticized, action is judged even harder.
This shows how culture has become a space of accountability, branding, and moral negotiation.
It also shows why audiences are more sophisticated than many leaders assume.
People notice when language is polished, but behavior remains unchanged.
They also notice when leaders make difficult decisions with honesty and consistency.
Education remains another major socio-cultural and socio-economic bridge.
Schools are not just academic spaces, they are food systems, safety systems, and cultural mirrors.
This week, families may be dealing with costs, attendance, curriculum debates, and technology use.
Teachers may be balancing learning needs, emotional needs, and limited time.
Students are growing up inside a world shaped by algorithms, uncertainty, and constant comparison.
That makes education a weekly social event, not only a classroom concern.
Health and well-being also deserve attention, especially stress, loneliness, and burnout.
Economic pressure and cultural overload can show up as fatigue, anxiety, or disconnection.
Communities may discuss mental health more openly than previous generations did.
That openness is meaningful, but access to care remains uneven in many places.
So the cultural progress of naming problems must meet economic access to solutions.
Otherwise, awareness rises while suffering remains untreated.
Another major theme is technology, especially artificial intelligence, surveillance, automation, and digital creativity.
Technology changes jobs, art, education, dating, policing, commerce, and personal privacy.
This week, many people are likely using tools they still do not fully trust.
That creates a strange balance. Convenience on one side, uncertainty on the other.
Workers wonder whether technology will assist them, monitor them, or replace them.
Artists wonder whether their work will be amplified, copied, or devalued.
Parents wonder how much screen life is too much for their children.
Society is still negotiating the emotional rules of the digital age.
So what ties all these events and patterns together?
The answer is pressure, adaptation, and meaning.
Economic pressure forces people to make choices they may not want to make.
Cultural pressure forces people to explain who they are and what they believe.
Adaptation happens when families, workers, businesses, and communities adjust their routines.
Meaning happens when people turn those adjustments into stories about fairness and identity.
That is why a price change, viral debate, or local meeting can matter deeply.
It is never just one event. It is part of a larger social mood.
For listeners, the key is to follow both the numbers and the human stories.
Numbers show scale. Stories show impact.
A statistic can tell us that costs are changing.
A family can show us what that change actually means.
A cultural controversy can tell us society is divided.
A conversation can show us whether understanding is still possible.
As this week continues, watch what people are buying, postponing, celebrating, and debating.
Watch how communities respond when institutions are slow or uncertain.
Watch how culture turns private frustration into public language.
And watch how economic choices become cultural statements.
That is the deeper story of any week. People trying to live with dignity.
They are doing it through work, family, creativity, faith, politics, humor, and resilience.
We may not have listed unverified headlines today, and that was intentional.
Accuracy matters. Context matters. Responsible discussion matters.
But the patterns we explored can help listeners interpret verified events as they unfold.
Socioeconomic and sociocultural life is not separate from daily experience.
It is daily experience seen with sharper eyes.
Thank you for listening to the New Sentinel.
Subscribe, comment, and share the conversation with someone who values deeper understanding.
And if you have a product or service to promote, consider advertising with us.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep looking beneath the surface.